school, she called me out. I'm like, you're a bitch.
What was wrong with your hair?
There's a horrible buzz cut. I
Oh,
let Mark do it.
well, I think it's about time we start, guys. So, we will start the recording.
So fucking old, dude.
We'll keep the music running for a little bit, but we will start the recording in 3, 2. We're going to start the recording in 3, 2. What? Mateo has to fix his hair. Dude, no one's gonna see this besides like everybody that we share it with. Okay. Okay. We're starting the recording in 3, 2. Bro, y'all are like
Jose just sent me.
doing way too much right now. Take that off, bro. Okay. We're starting the recording.
If I laugh, I'll actually die.
In 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are now on. We all see your beautiful faces. Everyone, welcome back to another Yapcast podcast episode. Now more than ever, there is a gap between teens and young adults in college and their parental figures, one that cuts deeper than just age. Whether it be academic environments, social life, or the economy, it is a growing conversation on how different being, a 2000s-ish kid is, much different from being like a baby boomer or maybe even younger, like a millennial-ish or older. Are our lives harder? Are they easier? Who better else to provide one side to this conversation than some young college freshmen like us? With that being said, I will go ahead and hand it off to Jose to start off our introductions, and we'll just popcorn it off.
All right. My name's Jose. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Hey Juan, you got that.
Me? All right,
Yeah, you got next.
hi, I'm Juan. Mateo is not cool. Okay, go Mateo.
What's our icebreaker today?
Or what?
Our icebreaker. Like, what do
Our
we say after?
Okay, how about we start off with Jose again so that we put him on the spotlight? And our icebreaker question will be, what is our favorite food of the day? Just what you can think of today, because it's kind of hard.
I ate one meal.
Okay, no, but like what you can think of today, because it's kind of hard to be like, oh, this is my favorite food of all time. So like, just like what you could think of your favorite food as today.
Oh, that's a good point. I have food. Somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could go ahead, Jose.
Okay.
All right. So again, my name is Jose. My favorite food that I had today was my mom's fish tacos.
Okay. What kind of fish?
They were salmon. They were salmon. They were salmon fish tacos.
Okay.
Was that the only thing you ate?
Nah.
What type of question was that? Okay, no, go ahead. Just if you want to keep going or pass it on, up to you, dude.
Yeah, Juan, what about you?
Bro, I had steaks for breakfast. Or actually just one piece of steak.
Plural, right?
And some
Plural?
green.
Steak and
No,
what?
no, just one. And green
Just steak?
beans.
Oh, green beans.
Mm-hmm.
Were they up to your culinary
And-
school taste? Your
Alright.
were they up to
No,
your...
because
Okay.
they were made before I woke up.
What does that mean?
It means they were made before I woke up.
So you don't do the cooking.
No, because
Where's your
my
tuition
tita
going?
is. Huh?
Always
Where's your
take,
tuition
never
going
give.
then?
Dude, I did baking. I did
All I'm
baking.
saying is, if we get an apartment, dude, you're doing the cooking. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to be
yeah,
the
I'm
Deacon
fine with that,
Chris
I'm
of the
fine with
house, dude. You have to
Yeah,
be.
we'll get there.
No, dude, have you seen Deacon Chris cook?
Yes, I have.
Dude,
And it's
that-
goaded.
He looks so.
Chris can
like,
cook?
He looks so professional.
No, not
wait,
not
wait.
Chris
Not-
Enriquez.
not
Definitely
Chris
not him.
Enriquez, yeah.
Oh,
Chris
I was
cannot
about to
cook.
say.
Bro, it's a stepping stool to get. Okay, anyways, Juan, you can pass it on if you wanna.
Mateo, go.
So yeah.
Fat ass.
Blur
Shut
that out.
up.
What is that? What is that?
Wow.
Explain in
What's your
detail.
name?
Give us the
What's your name?
mukbang.
Jose, for the
Hot
people.
fries because.
Bro,
Jose looks hungry right now.
you know what? You should die. You know,
Mateo,
you should
you
just
realize
die.
there's people that aren't going to be watching us and they're just listening.
Bro, Jose, do you want one?
Okay.
I hope your house
okay.
just explodes,
Oh,
Mateo.
God.
Okay.
Mateo, what's your
So
name?
I'm sorry, man.
Mateo, what's your
I-
name?
I
Is the
hope your house
craziest
blows up.
question.
Mateo, what's your name? You didn't even say your name,
Oh,
Mateo. Come on.
my name's Mateo. My
Oh my
favorite
god.
food of the day is hot fries, and I'm about to eat these during the podcast.
Just as a reminder
Yeah.
to not rustle your bag into the mic. Okay, that's great.
Badass.
I appreciate it.
Badass.
Anyways,
Shut up.
you can pass
I
it on.
was eating beef jerky on camera.
You can pass it on to the next person.
A meat steak.
Caitlyn.
Me? Okay.
No,
Hi,
the
Caitlyn.
other Caitlyn.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
My bad. Okay. I'm
Busy doing your
Caitlyn.
nails.
Yes, but what did I eat today?
Popcorn.
I
nacho?
had surprisingly neither.
Wow.
Popcorn.
Yeah, I didn't have my popcorn today, but I had Korean army stew. That was good.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds good.
Oh, that does sound. Wait, isn't it like? Is it like random, or are there like certain things that need to be in it for it to be a Korean army stew?
Technically, like for Korean army stew, they like throw in just like whatever they have. So then, like, it's just like spam, rice cakes, stuff like that. It's more like kind of like the leftover stuff that Koreans would have usually.
Okay.
But yeah. Miguel.
That's my name.
You
yeah.
first.
Yeah, so my name is Miguel. I was actually thinking about this.
You were thinking
I
about
was-
this?
No, I was talking about this earlier. But
Oh,
like we were talking about this mac
we
and
were.
cheese.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about mac and cheese. Wait, why are we talking about mac and cheese again? I totally forgot.
It came up and we ended up talking about it.
Oh.
I think because you were talking about mashed potatoes.
All right. I don't
That's
think.
you had some mid mashed potatoes.
Oh yeah, no, but there was like. No, I don't think
And
that's
then
what we were.
I brought up mashed it reminded me of like the Popeyes mashed potatoes, so I was talking about the Popeyes mac
Oh
and
yeah,
cheese.
yeah. Okay.
But like not specifically Popeyes mac and cheese, but like a good mac and cheese is like crusted on top,
Mhm.
and the inside's gooey.
Mm. Okay. That's great. Thanks, Miguel. Well, oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah. So that circles back around to me, your host. I'm Alex. In terms of my favorite food of the day, I would say similarly to Miguel would be mac and cheese because I did have there's this local soul food place that I had, so I ordered some fried chicken and mac and cheese. And the mac and cheese is really good. It wasn't crispy on top. It was just like just regular creamy mac and cheese, but I think it's something I'm really picky with because I feel like every place makes their mac and cheese a little different. But it was good. I liked it. Now, with introductions out of the way, we can jump straight into the topic for today, which is about generational gaps. And our first segment would be on, just to start it off a little bit lighter, but not necessarily, would be technological divides. Basically, I would like to discuss how technology has evolved rapidly and basically how its impact on communication has affected certain generations. You know, there's the common trope about how kids these days are always on their phones or how video games make kids violent, things like that. You know, what your thoughts were off of that. And also, you know,
Hmm?
You just have a tick, bro.
and basically just how other people, you know, back then, back before kind of modern technology rose, how like we would be living in situations like that. So somebody wants to take that away.
I
As
don't
we
get the
have
question.
2 kids on their phone, which is very prevalent for, you know, today's talk.
Oh my god. Caitlyn's
Have you
getting
guys
lead
heard of
We're
the?
poisoning
both
as we
older
speak.
than you.
What'd
She's
you
getting
say?
lead poisoning as we speak right now.
Getting what?
Lead
No,
poisoning.
no, still no.
Oh, from the Stanley Cup.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hydro Flask, actually.
Actually,
Yeah,
Really?
it's Hydro.
Oh,
Yeah.
ASMR? I think this is the. I should think we should
this
switch
is
up.
the better ASMR.
We should switch
this
up
is better
to
ASMR.
Stanley Cups.
Oh no.
Okay, no,
Wait, so
but
what was
Oh no.
you know,
it's like,
just talking about how
Wait, have you guys heard about like this 10-year-olds in Sephora?
no.
This kind of relates. Oh, but
Uh-huh.
basically, like Sephora is being like bombarded with like all these like 10-year-olds that like are influenced by Alex Earl, which is a really popular like TikToker, or I guess whatever. But basically, like they're all like raging around Sephora and being rude to the employees and other customers. And people are saying that like it's because of like both the parents and like how like these kids are just like allowed to have technology, or like they're like the first generation of iPad kids. So
That's
like
ridiculous.
generation alpha, is that what they're
Is that
called?
what they're called?
Yeah, or I think
Really?
so.
That's pretty
Yeah.
Giga Chad right there. Generation
Yeah,
Alpha.
they're called Generation
Oh.
Alpha, and they're basically like the first generation of like iPad kids. And like
Mm,
you could see like in contrast to how
Miguel's an
like
iPad kid.
most of us grew up like with like TV shows, and like I don't know, back when I was like 10 years old, like I was like trying to sell slime. But like these kids here are actually racking up like thousands of dollars at Sephora, and their parents just like are okay with it.
That's so. Oh yeah, that's actually a good point you made about how like we're not even necessarily like we're kind of in the middle between. I mean, we're obviously in the middle between like kind of millennials and baby boomers and this Gen Alpha, but we're also kind of like in between that technological divide because I mean we grew up watching TV shows and like not really stuck
Yeah.
to our
Wait.
screens.
Speaking of TV shows, what was your guys' favorite TV show when you guys like Cartoon Network when you have to wake up at like 10 on Saturday? Like what show did you wake up specifically just to watch new episodes? Be honest.
You guys woke up to like just to watch like TV.
I did.
Oh, I woke
I
up to
know
go to
damn well I
school.
did.
Dude, you're
On
such a
Saturday?
loser.
On a Saturday?
Wait, but like
What
how
is
young are we
that?
like talking though? Because
What
like
the hell? Looks like some
I
young
have like a whole
XD shit.
I have like a whole progression of like shows that I used to watch.
I hated Disney
Let's say
Channel because
like, oh, you hated
Dude,
Disney Channel?
low-key.
Old school Disney
No
Channel?
way.
Wait,
So,
like kick
I
it and
hated
stuff?
I hated the musical parts of the like.
See, back in my
movie.
day, those were top tier. Those were.
I never liked them. They were
You
always
know,
so
I never
cheap.
watched High School Musical until
Me
like
neither.
last year.
I've never
What?
watched it.
Did you watch like a
I've
Austin
seen
and
it like
Hallie?
3 times.
No,
Yes.
I watched like
Yes.
Liv and Maddie.
Liv and Maddie was
Bunked.
good.
Yes.
Bunked
Dude,
was
I was
good.
Jesse.
dying and Liv and Maddie.
Jesse
was
was
the shit.
good.
I love Liv and Maddie. What else did I watch? I don't remember. What else did I used to love Jesse.
Did you guys watch Good Luck
Hey,
Charlie?
Justin.
Yes.
I named my little brother after
Charlie?
Charlie.
Really?
Because of the
Your
show.
little brother?
Oh.
Yeah, on my mom's side.
Oh, cool.
Mm.
Dang.
I was about to name my little sister Headlights because of cars.
Yeah,
I'm
she
not
would-
even joking.
She would have hated her life.
I'm not joking. I thought it was a genuinely good name. Dude, this is when I was like 3. I was like obsessed with cars.
Okay, but do we actually think? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that kids are really stuck to their phones nowadays. But honestly, I feel like our generation is the lucky few that kind of is like realizing this as an actual problem. Like, I think now more than ever, especially as college freshmen, I think college freshmen start to realize more often, specifically right now, that young adults and like people in college and even high school have trouble socializing in like real life and trying to like talk to people face to face and make small talk. That's like probably one of the hardest things a teen has probably ever had to do. Even like, and that's why there's jokes about like kids like ordering pizza by themselves or like, asking the waiter for something, asking for a check and stuff like that. I definitely think it's a problem.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
So on the like asking for the check or like if your food's wrong, I think I talked to somebody about this not too long ago, but I hate doing it. Like I won't do it. Like when I was in a relationship, like I needed her. Like if something was wrong, I needed her to say it because I wouldn't. Like I was too scared. I was like, oh shit, they put onions. I didn't want onions.
Oh,
And
you know. Oh,
no, go.
there's
I
one
Caitlyn,
time
what
I
are
was
you
at like
doing?
a Vietnamese restaurant, and then like I ordered like a certain one. They gave me like the item that was like below the one that I wanted on the menu. And then I told them and they're like, no, like what you got was right. And I was like, no, what I got was wrong. And I literally argued with them until they brought out the menu and they're like, oh, wait, you're right.
Yeah, I could never. Like,
Did anyone else wonder
you're
that
gonna
Caitlyn
make my
was holding
next
a
meal
cup in
and
her
you're
hand?
gonna spit in it.
I think my grandma's actually reprimanded me one time, multiple times, several times. Or like,
You think or you know?
I know, because okay, there was this one vivid moment where I was at Quickly and I ordered a drink and it was taking absurdly long, and
Well,
I was
which one was
just, what do you mean?
like which location?
Um,
Was the one in Westlake?
I think it was it was either Westlake or Ceremony.
The ceremony one is known for being slow.
It was
No,
one of those two.
it was probably the Westlake one.
No, but I was
They're
I
both
was
being
I was
slow.
waiting and it was taking absurdly long, probably like 15 minutes just for my drink. And I was just sitting there waiting, like, oh, I guess they'll like get my drink at some point, you know. And my grandma comes, like, she was like shopping or like getting something, and then she comes to me and she's like, well, where's your drink? And I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for it. And she's like, it's taking too long. It's taking too long. So she goes up to the, you know, and I can't go up with her, you know. I can't be a part of that because all eyes are about to watch her for whatever she's about to say. Everyone's watching. So I'm sitting in the back watching her do this. She goes up and she's, you know, she's like, and she doesn't try to be nice about it, you know.
My grandson.
Quite normally, you would just be like, hey, did you guys, you know, maybe forget my order or something? I ordered about 15 minutes ago. My grandma, she walks up and she's just like, my grandson, he ordered the what boba the Thai milk tea and it's not ready yet. He ordered 15 minutes ago.
15 minutes ago.
And then
You sound like that one Filipino guy who like does the accent like, just like that.
And
That's
then
such a good
you know, it's so it turns out she was right. They literally checked the receipts and they're like, oh yeah, we actually forgot to do that order, so we'll start on it now. And then the 15-minute lecture I got from my grandma of just straight up, just like, you know, you have to start speaking up for yourself. If there's a problem, you have to speak up. You can't just sit there like a stupid. You can't do that one. You have to speak up.
like a stupid.
I
And
feel like that goes with like a lot of parents.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
not-
definitely.
Yeah,
like
that
the
is.
older generation, I feel like sometimes when they talk, it just sounds so rude. Like I know with my mom too. Like sometimes I just think like she's. Sometimes I think she sounds like a Karen when she like talks to.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like mom, you can't be saying that. You can't be
Right? It's
doing
like, okay, hold on, wait. It's literally a
Like
running joke in my
us.
family. My uncle and my dad are pretty much millennials. They're like in their probably 30s to 40s ish now.
Wait,
I don't
which
remember
dad?
the exact. Yeah, my dad and my uncle. So, they're pretty much closer to my age, and honestly, I relate to them a lot more. And I could get into that later. But basically, it's like a running joke in my family where, like, even at my uncle's wedding, my grandparents were in the back seat of the car, and my uncle, like, really seriously, he wasn't even joking at this point. He rolls down the window because it's their what's that thing before a wedding? It's called like a reception. Like we were at the reception, and my uncle goes,
Isn't the reception after?
No,
"No,
I think it's a 4.
it's
Or
there's a
I think
reception,
it's
and then the wedding, and then like after like there's like a party, but it's
I
not
have
like
the
there's a
party.
pre-wedding reception."
yeah, whatever. The pre-wedding.
But very
Okay,
seriously, he
go
goes
on,
into
go on.
the car and he's like, "Ma, pa, be normal, okay?" And it's like the fact that we have to prep them for public interaction because of the stuff they say is absolute, and they don't even realize it too. They're like, what do you mean be normal? I'm normal, you know? And it's like, no, you're not
You
normal.
have that accent down locked, dude. I can't get over it.
But yeah, there's definitely like, in terms of generational gaps, there's definitely like a communication gap in terms of like how we communicate with other
Yeah.
people. And like Caitlyn said, it's like they can come off as very rude at times. I mean, if any of
So
you guys have like things to speak on that.
yeah, so actually, I wanted to say we should do a fucking episode where we talk in our accents, like what we are. We should talk.
Oh, hell
That's
no.
insane.
Hell
Like-
no.
No.
Fucking your
All right,
accent.
bro.
Okay, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, my accent's been refined because I have to see. It's not even a stereotype for me. It's just a reality. That's why I like.
You just live with it.
I've heard you. I think I've heard you like it slipped once or twice.
What do you mean?
Like you went real Filipino out of nowhere.
Wait, what?
Like you said something and it sounded real Filipino just the way you said it.
You know, here's the thing, and it actually helps me communicate with my grandparents and my parents sometimes, is that like I will speak in the accent. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't even know like Tagalog like fluently, or Kapampangan, or like any language. I don't even know the language fluently, but I know the accent fluently, and I will use it
And it helps you.
to communicate with them. If they don't understand my regular English, I'll use the accent, and it helps them. Like that's insane.
I mean, I get that actually. I do that with one of my uncles who doesn't speak great English.
Oh really? Could you give like an example?
Well, like if he'll ask me something, he's like, "How do you say this in English?" I'll like tell it to him really dumbed down, and like in his accent, just so he'll understand it. Because like if he's like, "How do you say what is your name?" I can't be like, "What's your name?" I kind of be like, "There'll be I say I like miss a couple words. I'm like, "What?" Or like instead of "what is," because he'll say "what is," he's like, "What's your name?" or "What is your name?" Like I'll just say it stupid so he understands it,
Bro.
and it works.
I bet it does.
But I do want to say something on the what you were talking about, or the topic. I mean that's just kind of how they grew up. I mean their time is like a whole different like era compared to ours. Like half the shit they did back then. What happened?
Like at that point, it's not even time. It's like where they grew up, because like
yeah, exactly. Like half the shit they did back then would not slide today. And I feel like they understand it, but it's still like isn't processed fully by a lot of like parents. Like either what they say about a certain group of people or whatever it may be, like they know they shouldn't, but it's like slips just because of the era and like area they grew up in.
And honestly, I feel like it comes on us as young adults and teens to like help educate and bridge that gap. I mean, like we already do that in kind of like a like by default, where you know our parents or our grandparents might slip and say something, and then we gotta push them, maybe like, oh yo, don't say that, don't say that in public. Like, we can't say that here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've caught myself doing that like plenty of times without even realizing.
But that's like the thing too, because my like I tell it to my parents too, but they're like their biggest complaint with our generation is that we're too like woke.
Yeah.
Like they always like.
Like you want me to be asleep? Like the fuck?
Okay.
No, like not like that. But you get what I mean? Like
no, I got you.
No,
I got you.
no, they're just like your generation is too sensitive. Like back in my day, I'm like, okay, but that was back in your
yeah,
day.
you could
like,
also buy Coke at a fucking liquor store back then.
That's
like
true.
you could buy a dime bag.
No, but like whenever I call my parents out on something, it's usually like service workers, because like you know how most Asian parents are like they want this shit like done quickly as fuck, right? I'll be like to them, I'll be like, just calm down. They probably have a lot of stuff going on in the back.
And
like,
you've worked in like, you know, kind of service work a little bit.
Exactly. I've worked 4 different jobs, and then my parents.
Yeah, so you know that they're never busy. They just are messing around in the back.
Okay, bro.
Okay, that's true, but like when you see like a bunch of people sitting down.
Mateo, bad worker.
Bro, shut up.
Mateo got paid.
You know damn well I deserve all my tips. 25% tips, like at least 3 times a day. It's pretty good.
3 $1 tips a day is a lot.
25%.
3 25-cent tips a day.
Okay, bro. Hey, we should just go to Mateo's next work spot and just tip him like probably the worst tips of his entire life.
Give him
do it. I will do it. My customer service is gonna be amazing. Trust me. No, but it's even like people that put on like a face like just to please customers. Yeah. And then my parents like complete assholes to them. I'm just like, come on now.
No, that's why I could never work retail. If you're an asshole to me, I'm throwing him.
Okay. Like, actually, you know, but like, go ahead. Oh no, if you want to continue that thought process, go ahead. Like,
no, I have it in my head still.
Okay.
I might forget it.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna stray off from that. In fact, we're actually gonna go deeper into that. And just talk about, you know, kind of like what we were talking about now, kind of like the gap between the old and the young not just in like occupation, but economics wise, just like the mindset about how the economy works nowadays, how jobs work nowadays, and not even that, but how education works nowadays is extremely different. I mean, just to start with education and working our way up with education itself, I mean, I feel like um older people don't necessarily understand the academic rigor that comes with our generation that necessarily they don't have. Um, to put it in simpler terms, basically, school is harder than it was before.
Yeah.
In more
Yeah.
cases than not. I mean, like in some ways it might have been harder back then. I mean, we've heard the stories of how they got to school and how they had to fight off 5 dinosaurs and carry their 50-pound book bag.
They're
But
constantly reviewing.
there's okay, so a common excuse that I have with quotes, because my parents or my family members will call this as an excuse, is they'll be like, oh, why aren't you doing so and so in school? You have all these resources, you have Google and you have this and you have that. And it's like, yes, I have all this information, but there is complexity that comes with that, where yes, there's more information accessible, but I mean the teachers know this. So with more information that's accessible, that means that by default schoolwork should be harder. You know what I mean? It's like,
And also,
yeah, go ahead.
like with more information being accessible, not all that information's right. Like it's not always gonna be
Yes,
right.
reliability is very
Like it's
important.
not gonna be one search and oh that's it.
Mhm.
Like sometimes you have to search in for a half hour just to make sure that's the right answer. Look at different like published sources and actual like articles about it just
And
to make sure. Right.
They like think that honestly, now this could be just a personal thing, but my grandparents believe whatever they see on the internet, especially on like Facebook. Like, dude, the
Right
accent,
there, right there. Hold
you
up.
saw that, right?
Yeah.
You saw that. Oh
Facebook?
my god. Oh my gosh, the accent came out. But like, dude, no, even on Facebook, it'll like I remember distinctly. My grandpa one time he showed me this video, and it was a video of this guy being like, the cheese in America is fake, and he holds up this like slice of American cheese and he puts a blowtorch to it and it like crumples up like plastic. And my grandpa is just like, oh my god, look, the cheese that we're buying is fake, we have to throw it out. And it's like, I don't think that's how it works. I don't know. And he's like, but
It's
look,
so accurate.
how did they do that one? They look, it's
That's
burning.
what.
It's really cheese. Look, and I'm like, it's not cheese.
It's really cheese.
And honestly, no. And there's also all of this stuff about how like people in older generations are falling for like these online scams and stuff like that. Are it's not even to their fault because this is totally new stuff, but like to them. But there's so many ways that older people, again, it's not necessarily their fault. They're so gullible to these new technological things.
Yeah.
And it's like you're having
And I
trouble
feel like
with it.
that's
How do
what
you expect
people like
us?
Babytron. People
Wait.
like Babytron profit off of that.
Wait,
Who's
The fact that
Wait, what do you
older
mean?
people are they're unaware of online shit.
Who's
Like
Babytron?
He's a rapper.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
yeah.
Hey, you know who else does that,
he's a
bro?
scammer. But I feel
Yo,
like
you know
that's
who
where it
else
comes
does
to the
that?
point where like older people are so unaware of scams like that, and like they're just so oblivious to the fact that somebody's just not everybody's trying to help you out.
Right.
Oh, I hate that.
Even though they grew up in a time where nobody wanted to help you out.
And it's like they expect just because they don't know how to do it, and again, this is another thing, they expect that we're just experts at this stuff. Like, I mean, there's some things that are pretty trivial. It's like, a prince is offering $50,000 if you give him your credit card information. Like, that's clearly not a scam. But
Those are fake.
Stop,
That's
bro.
not a scam?
Okay. But there's this sort of expectation that like, oh, if I don't know how to do this, then you should know how to do this because this is made in your time period, and that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But going back to education and stuff, there's also more pedagogical approaches, and by that I mean there's more things aren't just multiple choice test based stuff. We have projects, we have critical thinking things that I'm gonna be honest, I don't think our parents really like did back in their school days. I don't think my grandma and grandpa in their Filipino town were, doing group projects about the economic and political state of the world. I think they were just trying to do regular
Trying to live.
arithmetic is what they call it. Arithmetic. They do math and reading, but I'm pretty sure the schoolwork and the course load for us people today have gotten a lot more complex than what they were used to. And with that, they don't even it's so hard for them to comprehend, and I don't know why.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I actually just had a thought about that. Another reason why it's so much harder than back when they were in school is because half the jobs that more than half the jobs that exist now didn't exist when they were back in school.
That's true.
They weren't preparing to be like IT or tech, nothing.
Yeah,
they weren't
true.
Like they had a lot to prepare for, but nowadays there's so many more jobs. Even 20, 30 years ago, it was almost unheard of to find somebody working from home through their computer, working it's just unheard of. And it's how far we've come, but it's also how advanced we've become. Far, far more than it was back when they were in school.
It's all literally just the dependency on technology, because if you think about it, most people making their money now it's mostly online. You see all these things about e-commerce, drop shipping, and everything. It's just you can literally do it all from one phone, be a millionaire in a month, right?
Yeah.
What is this drop
now,
shipping?
It's e-commerce.
What is this e-commerce?
Drop ship?
I'm not. What is that? What are you doing? And then it's just I'm just selling items.
Hey, you're playing games on your computer again. You're sitting there getting beat.
And then when you show them, you're
do a money
making
spread.
Money, I'm making money. And it's how do you do that? Huh?
Yeah, it's actually come really far. Back then, one of the majors my dad actually took was actually called phone. Literally, that was the major. It was called phone. He used to be an architect major, but then he switched to something else, so now he's in IT. But back then, they literally just had phone.
Wow, that's a
BlackBerry.
Now the course load for phone is crazy.
Imagine going into a party and just with your whole family is so what are you majoring in?
Phone. You know phone? That one?
That thing that's in your pocket right now, you see that? I know how to work that better than
Nokia?
you. I know
Yeah, but back then they didn't. Yeah.
It wasn't even in your pocket. It was a fucking brick that you pulled out.
Phones were, dude.
No, by that time they had the flip phone.
Oh, the flip phones?
Like a sidekick? I always wanted a sidekick.
Oh, go ahead, Jose.
What?
Oh, my bad. I'm going back to what you were talking about, assignments. Yeah, it's definitely really different, because I remember one time when I was traveling with my parents, they took me to their old school, and they showed me one of the assignments they did, and they told me that to pass one of their classes they had to grow a tree. And thinking about it now, it's hella different, obviously, because
I would fail that assignment. Okay, go on.
Our school has a free course on that.
Keep a plant alive. Sorry, I can't do that.
I gotta drop the class.
I can't do that. I can't pass.
Gotta switch majors.
Can't cheat my way out of this one.
But yeah.
Is that a fake tree?
No.
But go ahead, Jose. Keep going.
But yeah,
sorry.
For example, for today, I'm having to make business plans, different projects for stuff like that.
Right.
And then I normally try to tell my pops that this is kind of a hard thing. He's like, oh nah, you got this, and I'm like, okay. But yeah,
I don't think that's him just trying to diminish.
No, but it's different. It's different because I feel obviously the course load is different, and then they're if I was able to do this back then, it should be easy for you to adapt.
I hate that one so much, bro. It's that statement is I'm gonna pull out the accent again, bro. Because dude, you know how many times I've heard that before, the back in my day, but the Filipino version is 100% worse. Because if I got, and this was not even where grades were that concerning. This was middle school. This was 6th grade, 7th grade. GPAs just got announced. There were no honor rolls past 5th grade, or before 5th grade. We just got here. And dude, if I failed not even failed, if I passed a social studies exam, bro, if I was, there in your position and I had all these gadgets to search up and research, I'd be perfect. I'm and she was talking about, like valedictorians and stuff. I'm in 6th grade. What are you talking about?
Valedictorian?
Yeah, valedictorian, bro. That's how
She
it was
wasn't
pronounced. Like, dude.
Valedictorian?
But like, that's just like the main thing was like them thinking, and this isn't to necessarily invalidate their experience. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Where like, I often find that older people will use their experiences to invalidate younger people's experiences and be like, oh well, I had to go through, so you must be able to go through. If I was in your position, like, you don't even know what my position looks like. Just because you were 18 back then doesn't mean my 18 is your 18. You know what I mean? And I think that couldn't be farther from like that personal
I feel like
experience.
if you went back in time with all the things you had, I feel like they still like. Even now, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, how the fuck do I do this? Like,
oh yeah,
if I'm trying to like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Like, who do I talk to if I can't find this class or like,
yeah.
Like,
oh my god, no, yeah.
like
No,
my
imagine if you're like traveling and you go to like Korea or Japan or something, and then you don't have like
North or south?
technology.
Bro,
North.
I don't think you could go to. I don't, especially like back then. I think you can only go to one.
No.
No, but like imagine if you like traveled back then, or like back like during yeah.
Gotta put out the.
If you just went
map.
to like Korea, yeah, you have to pull out like the physical map.
Where are we?
No, but it would be so
we?
complicated. Like I don't think I could map.
you are here. There's no you are here. It's like, that looks like that.
Is this the wrong map?
Oh, we're here.
No, and then like imagine like because like especially for like Korea and Japan, like you gotta like map out the subways too.
Oh, that's true. Man.
So I'm like, I would absolutely have to.
I should just go off that, like how like more technologically advanced like other countries are besides us. Like, do you think it's
way more?
No. Like think about it. Like, why do we have like kids doing stupid shit here, but like you don't hear this shit happening in like Japan or something?
Well,
yeah, why do we have
education oriented?
Why do we have kids? Exactly.
No, but like especially in like Asia, they're very like rigorous with their academics.
They're education oriented.
Like, no time to fool around.
Yeah.
And plus, it's so like secure there. Like if you like commit a crime, like there's still like I think there's still like death sentences there too. Like you can't really.
There's still death sentences in the United States.
Still death sentences.
But I mean,
in
yeah,
the
I think she means like
wildly.
widely.
All the states.
It's like widely applicable in like.
Yeah.
But
I know
for
at
Asia,
least in like Southeast Asia, they're more like there isn't like a lengthy process. I don't know. My mom like explained this to me because she was from Malaysia, but like there isn't like a very lengthy process that people go through. It's either you're guilty until proven innocent.
So they just chop your hand.
You're innocent until proven guilty. You know.
No, but isn't it like even a small like something small like littering? Like I heard littering in Singapore takes like 10 years or something.
Yeah, like littering in like Japan, Singapore, like anywhere, like they will fine you for like a lot. Like you also like don't even see like homeless people like on the street of like Korea and Japan because like
Japanese people just don't look homeless.
Yeah,
like,
I saw something on that.
A lot different.
There are a lot of homeless. It's just not very like noticeable that they are homeless.
And then they wouldn't
I think they monitor. I think they monitor. Like they keep them off the streets, like not off
they
like
do,
the main. Like,
it's more like they're also.
They throw them into like one room.
Yeah, but there's also like more resources. Like countryside living is way better in Asia than it is here.
Yeah.
I mean, going off of that, actually not at all. We are completely off topic. Going back to the topic, and we were kind of did talk about it a little bit. Was kind of like parenting styles, and how that looks for different people. There is kind of somewhat of a general consensus, but I wanted to get your guys' kind of personal opinions on like how you were parented, and the effects of that.
My child's getting disciplined.
Yeah.
How you were parented.
I mean, like going off right of that, like I think as a kid, I was disciplined for like a lot of things that I did. That like right now, if I were to see myself do said things, I would have probably like whooped. I would have whooped past me too. Like I remember breaking 2 beds in like the same week when I was like 5 because I don't know. I didn't learn the first time because I was jumping on my sister's bed, and then I just started to jump on mine, and then both of those were gone.
Bro.
It was bad, but like, I was prone to doing like very stupid things, and I'm pretty glad that I was disciplined.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, if somebody else wants
Why
to,
did you learn your lesson?
I mean, it's okay. Like, at least you did learn your lesson though from your parental discipline.
No, I mean, like, I guess it also like made me like more aware to like the things that I was also like doing wrong socially, because like I was like
Okay.
I was like I wouldn't say I wasn't sociable, but I just didn't know how to socialize as a kid. Like I'd be like there wasn't like there wasn't like a lot of social norms that I personally understood that wouldn't have been taught to me unless like my parents disciplined me, which like I appreciate
Yeah, of course.
them for like disciplining me, made me a little bit more normal.
No, I think like Jose, like saying like if I saw younger me, I'd probably beat the shit out of me as well. Like I'm not even gonna lie.
That discipline beat the shit out of.
Yeah, it's like not even beating the shit out of me. It's like, bro, you're doing this all wrong. Oh no, it shows my work ethic. It shows my work ethic.
You're gonna start pressing like 5-year-old Mateo.
Nah, or like 10. Yeah, 10-year-old.
Oh, well, now we know the age that Mateo would start to discipline his kids would be 10 years old.
No, but even
beat the shit out of.
Its hands at age 10 is.
No, it's because my work ethic is so bad to the point where it's like even in high school, not even high school. It was like I think 7th and 8th grade. I was just like, dude, just pass your classes. Like it doesn't even matter. And then I carried on to high school because we didn't have any homework. Or like we
Bro,
didn't have
just
any
doxed our high school.
Bro, it's literally on Jose.
Dude.
It's behind Jose.
We are graduated.
Whoa.
We are graduated.
It's gone.
We are graduated. Juan is literally in the Filipino. Like, dude, he is not even in the he's not even in like the Americas. Like, but keep going off of that.
Like we had no homework. We only had to do good on tests. Like that was my thing, and it still goes on to now. It's like I do minimal work, put in minimal effort, and I do just enough to get by.
Okay.
And I'm like,
that is the way it is.
I mean, it works obviously, but it's like, I'll probably be looking back on it like 5 years from now and be like, you should have worked just a little bit harder.
Juan, you look kind of sus right now, so you can go next if afterwards.
Juan has not said a single word since the introduction.
Because I don't know, you're looking down and you're like, I don't know what that is, but
yeah, I'm cutting my nails right now.
Okay.
Caitlyn's painting your nails. Juan's cutting his nails.
But I mean, go ahead, dude. Like, I'd love to hear everybody's personal opinions on this.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mateo. Like, I wouldn't beat the shit out of.
Oh no, I do it. I definitely do it.
But there are moments where I'd go back. Like, I wouldn't tell myself not to, because obviously the things I've done have changed my life, and whether it's for better or worse. But there is I would change how I would help out my younger self with math, or if I were to have a kid, I wouldn't I might get angry because I tried teaching some people some math one time and I got pissed.
What?
Okay, so education is not your profession. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Why are you the one
The
teaching
thing
math?
it's not that it's specifically like smart shit. Like coaching, I'm actually a decent coach. Like I'm able to guide you because the way I learn is a little different than other people learn, just like everybody else. Like I have to really break each individual thing down. Like each move has to have its own steps, and so each part of the move has its own steps that all create one thing. so it like helps me teach them because that's the way I learn.
Yeah. So would
So
you say
like when I'm coaching,
okay?
like when I'm like in the corner coaching somebody wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
I coach them the way I would like to be coached. Like I want to know which side I need to look to or which side I need to turn to. Like I'm like it's very helpful having that step by step.
Right.
Even though that's not how life is, when you can and it is an available like resource,
Yep.
being able to kind of be guided step by step, almost getting your hand held through something, is really really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I want my kid to be like always relying on somebody else to get
Right.
help them out with something, but I do want them to have that sense of knowing how they learn, whether they learn the same way I did or if they. I want them to know how they learn and how they can tell their teachers how they learn or a coach how they learn or whatever it may be.
Mm.
I want them to know how they learn best so that they can get the most out of their education.
Right. And Juan or Caitlyn, if you guys want to jump in, talk about.
It's busy.
Juan,
What were we talking about?
So Juan just finished cutting his nails. Juan, we're basically just going around, just talking about like our own personal parental upbringing and kind of what that's sprouted or what that's looked like, and if we want to take any of that into when we raise children or something like that. Kind of that general topic.
Um. So I was raised by a single mother, right? But my dad was like there, but only like a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he did teach me things that like as a man I do cherish because like I think it's helped me in life. Like the things that he taught me, it's helped me in life become a better person.
Mm.
But like as well as like the things that my mom has taught me, like how to treat like people, specifically like women, like with respect and like you know, like I don't remember much actually.
No,
They
you're
were
good.
like when I was like 12.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But that's good though. I mean, it seems like you got a lot of like positive things out of learning from, what your parents have taught you. And,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's good. How about you, Caitlyn?
Surprisingly, I was not very academically, like, I guess, inclined back when I was younger. Like, I absolutely hated studying. Like, I was actually like, I had to be called in for like a parent teacher meeting because of how bad I was doing in school.
Oh man.
So then, like, at some point, it was more like I didn't have like the familial support that I needed. Because then the only time, like, they would only ever yell at me or like not even try to like support me. They would expect me to like improve on my own, you know?
I
And
see.
I managed to do so. Like,
Mhm.
like, I became a lot more independent, and that's mainly due to luck, really. But then they tried to do the same with my sister, and it's like it's kind of working, but it didn't work as well as it did for me because it's only like now that she's starting to actually focus more on her academics,
I see.
you know?
Yeah.
But it's like I think rather than I mean, I would obviously discipline my kid, but like I would also
You
like
wouldn't
try
beat the shit out of him like Mateo is.
You should.
Oh, there's a
no,
pause.
I wouldn't beat the shit out of my kid. I don't think that's what helps at all. I think because I'd rather have like a relationship with my kid that I could actually like they could actually come to me for like advice. Because from my parents, I would absolutely never open up to my parents,
Oh, me neither.
and I feel
I'd
like
open up
that's
to you
Same.
guys before I'd open up to my parents.
no, like I will never open up to my parents. I'm scared to like if my parents see me cry, like I'm terrified.
I
Like
felt that.
and I cry like so often. It's just like anytime like the fact that I cry so often, but I don't ever let them see it. It kind of says a lot. Cause like then they're gonna ask, oh, like what happened, and then I'll tell them, and they'll turn into a lecture. They'll be like, I told you so, I told you, blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, literally, shut up, because it's not helping. And this is why I didn't talk to you in the first place. And they're always like, why don't you ever talk to me about this stuff? Why don't I know this? Blah, blah,
Why
blah.
are
I'm
you
like,
crying?
obviously,
Why are you crying?
obviously you react like this. Like, why do you think?
Yeah.
And literally, like, my sister, like, or there's this like incident that happened to my sister and her friends, right?
Mhm.
And she was kind of having like a falling out.
Yeah.
And my mom was just like, I don't know how to help her. Like, I don't know how to do blah blah blah. I'm like, literally, just shut up. Don't say anything to her, and she'll figure out on her own. If she needs help, then she'll come to me if she needs it, or she'll like come to you if she'll come to you. Let her come to you. Don't go to her. And right when we get into the car, she starts going off and yelling at my sister. I'm like, you're
Oh,
not helping
man.
her.
Yeah.
You're not helping her. And I straight up told her in the car too. I'm like, Mom, I literally told you to shut up and not say anything. And look what you're doing now. You asked me for my advice on how to help her, and you're doing the complete opposite of what I told you to do. And then the lecturer turned to me and she was like, you can't be telling me to blah blah blah, like I'm your parent, like blah blah blah. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what? Okay, this is why we don't trust you.
Yeah, I felt that.
But oh shit, this looks really ugly. Okay, but yeah, like I'd rather have a relationship where I could actually talk to my parents
Yeah.
and not like, I don't know, not get pissed off by them.
I get that. I mean, personally, for me, I definitely got. Okay, here's the thing. Actually, is I think I will always be thankful for what my grandparents and parents have given me, throughout their years of raising me. Even if I may not necessarily agree with their certain methods, um, I do believe that every parent who even would do those type of things, has the right idea in mind and where they want their kid to grow up to be happy, healthy, and successful. But I don't necessarily think that, um, whether it be physical or emotional abuse is the most effective, because I feel like tiger parenting specifically, and I'll just speak off of that because that's what I'm used to, just puts up kind of unnecessary blockades to achieving that kind of happy, healthy, and successful end goal. And the other like methods are kind of a lot healthier because I think a person needs to learn from their mistakes to become successful. But I don't think that a person necessarily needs like trauma to learn from said mistakes, because there's this whole, no pain, no gain attitude. But working out makes your muscles stronger, but tearing a bicep doesn't necessarily do that. You could still get the same end goal and have big biceps, but one completely hinders your ability to do so in the process of trying to get there. Um, so that's kind of like my personal thing and take on that.
I would actually argue that like basically or kind of like tough loving your way into your like kid to be successful, I feel like it's gonna make them more rebellious in the long run, especially for like Asian families, I guess, like because like of tiger parents, and then they go off to college and then they completely go crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like it's because they grew up so strict. It's that now that they have the freedom and they're away from home, it's just like they're more inclined to go crazy and like just get into like, I don't know, more trouble, I guess.
I think that makes total sense because like, okay, not this does sound dehumanizing, but I promise it's not. It's like, um because I am taking a psychology lab where we handle with lab rats. You think of it like this, where if you hold an animal captive for their whole entire life and then suddenly release them into the wild, into a total new environment with totally new things, they're gonna go crazy. Like, and they're not also like, Caitlyn said, they're just gonna do like a bunch of crazy stuff. Kids do crazy stuff after being sheltered for so long. Not even sheltered, but kind of disciplined with that trauma. It only would make sense and almost like kind of like completely obvious for your child that you've disciplined through trauma and sheltered them, quote unquote, for them to go to college. You're not there anymore to do the things that you would normally do. And now they have all this free time, all this free environment, and no restrictions. Not only will that be so overwhelming, but the margin for error is so high as well. So I definitely agree with that take.
I think that also kind of like, I guess like going off of like how crazy kids go in high school, I think that's also kind of why like things like hookup culture or situationships, whatever, like all that started formulating.
Mm.
Mainly because like I mean, I don't know. I don't think back then like people like really had, or like hookup culture wasn't really
What were
as
the
big.
80s like? I heard the 80s were crazy.
I guess, but I don't
Yeah,
think it's
back when I was
like-
living in the 80s,
Okay, bro.
No, but like back then, my parents were like, "Oh, if you had to make a date beforehand, and you wouldn't know if they were
no,
coming."
like I feel
and
like
you had
back
to wait."
then, like especially like guys were like a little bit more trained to like, I guess like
Or more
be a
gentleman like.
man and like yeah, more gentleman
Yeah,
like.
definitely.
But like now it's just like you like I would never date in college
Mm.
because I don't think guys in college are looking for anything but hookups and like stuff like that. And I
Right.
guess it's just like because if they were growing up in such like a strict environment, like that's what they're going to be looking for, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you see a lot of Asian guys like going from like, or like talking about like how they go from girl to girl and stuff.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah,
at the
it's so
same time,
like glorified as
most
well.
Asian guys,
It's so
exactly.
nasty.
But it's also like you see those guys and like those guys and girls like doing the best, like the ones that do so much to like keep up their appearance for like social media and everything. But it's also like it seems like they have more free time and everything. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah.
Caitlyn, I think you know. I think we know who we're talking about. Yeah. But anyways, it's like it's more just like that. It's like every like this generation right now, they're like losing aspect of like what I wouldn't really say there's like a main goal to reach or like a main aspect everyone should look for. It's just like everyone's like the big idea of this whole generation is like for guys, it's more like, oh, how much can you bench press at the gym? How many bitches can you get with in one night at a party or something like that? How much money do you have? And then girls, I don't want to speak on behalf of girls, but girls have different goals, and I don't know if they differ from how they were before and now.
Nah, did they say?
Oh, it's also like with social media, it's like a lot harder to date because like, you know, like people have like Snapchat rosters or like Instagram rosters or like you don't know who like
Shut up,
back
Miguel.
then like you don't have a phone to like they don't have any means of like cheating unless if they physically go to another person to cheat, right?
Right.
But like now,
Mhm.
like you could just like there's like mentally cheating or
Mm.
like online cheating or just like
Mm.
stuff like that. And like that's insane. Now it's so much more
Mm.
complicated because you can't like you can't really it's really hard to trust someone.
I get
That's
that.
why like I saw like on social media it's just like some girls just want guys with like very little following and not guys with like yeah, I don't know, just guys with very little following, like low Snapchat streaks or no Snapchat at all because it's just like you don't know who you can trust anymore with
But
technology.
it's also at the same time, it's like the same girls that are asking for that have like 2,000 guys like following them.
Yeah, that is true.
Like,
Mm.
like if you post, like if you purposely post bikini pictures for guys to look at and like and be like, oh my god, slide me your DMs and everything. It's like I get it if you're confident about your body, but if you're doing it solely for the fact that you want guys to slide in your DMs, and I know there's girls that do that, you really don't have a right to say, oh, I want a guy that has like, I want a good guy that's like a mama's boy or something. Is like cares about his family and everything, family oriented, and he has goals.
I
in
feel
life.
like girls don't like mama's boys.
I think so.
Girls
There's
are
a
lame.
scientific reason to that
I
as
don't
well.
know.
Girls are
No, because
lame.
like yeah, like girls like especially
I think I know which one you're talking about. Alex. Yeah,
based from like what I
Wait,
know,
what?
like mama's boys like I think I don't know what it is.
There's a scientific reason, and I don't know exactly what it is either, but there's like actual science behind like guys who kind of like have
They
a
kind of
stronger
expect
relationship.
mom
Yeah,
or their
yeah,
mom.
that's what it is. That once you move on, like once, because there's a whole thing where like, you know, you're spending less time with your actual parental figures, more with your significant other. There's like a science behind where like if you are a man is more kind of, if they have a stronger relationship with their mother, they
they're
walk into
looking
a
for.
they
They're-
walk into a relationship expecting not necessarily a mother, but that same kind of motherly dependency with said woman. That's
The
like an
same kind of
actual
like
thing.
actions and stuff.
Like being taken
Yeah.
care of. I want my food on the table. That type of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I mean, like when you grow up, like mama's boys, like mama, fuck, I can't speak English. Like you know what I
We
mean,
know.
right? Like it's more
Nope.
just like, at least from like Asian or like Filipino households, it's like we're literally raised to take care of the people that take care of us when we're younger. It's like they take care of us when you're younger,
Some.
and then you take care of them when they're older. What do you mean some?
Well, there's this one guy that I have in mind who I
No,
would
no,
say
no.
is
The guy
unnecessarily spoiled, that didn't necessarily have to take care of his parents and kind of had the
Nah,
opposite.
we can forget about him.
But I would say there's definitely exceptions, but I would say traditionally raised people in Asian households, like people who have more like kind of like older parents or were raised by their grandparents, definitely do have like those qualities that you're talking about where
that's the thing.
Yeah.
People confuse tradition and culture now.
Go ahead and explain.
Because a class that I took last semester, it was more like he explained more of the breakdown of tradition and then culture, the differences.
Right.
Tradition is something more. It's like tradition can be started by a few people. I don't know if I'm getting this wrong, but
oh well, if you will, then we'll find out.
Well, comments, say whatever. And then
It's on Spotify.
culture is more like YouTube, TikTok. We're in the process of making it.
Okay,
no,
bro,
we're not.
okay.
Huh?
Just go ahead.
Huh? Excuse me?
Keep going.
That's
Oh my
But-
god.
Yeah, I'm on FaceTime. But, culture is like embedded into your background and everything. It's like been going on for.
Oh, I think I talked about this in my ethics class too, actually.
Exactly. You see what I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
And then, like.
What are you drinking?
This is a McCafe iced caramel mocha.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
You keep adding more and more to your nails every time I look at it. Every time you show it to me.
Each finger has to be different.
Yeah, each finger has to be different.
I was like, okay, the bow is fine, and then okay, a couple, okay, more. Oh shit! Oh fuck!
It's one of those TikToks you watch where it's like the people doing it while you hear Reddit story.
Yeah, I love those.
But it's just so confusing. Like even I didn't understand like the difference really. And then like understanding that I didn't understand made me like realize like why people get confused between things.
Actually,
like,
oh, go ahead.
Oh, because we are still in that same generation, and like when you think about it, we're just like one out of like, say what?
Oh,
like a billion of our age.
Billion
I
generations.
wouldn't say generation.
Wait,
a
what
billion.
do you mean?
How?
Oh.
He can't speak.
Let's say like 100 million or like 50 million or something.
Generations. Okay.
Yeah. No, like in our generation alone.
Wait, what?
I don't know how many people in like
the amount of people in our generation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Miguel.
Not the amount of generations, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
But
He's my
like,
cousin. I have to know.
Exactly. Like we can read each other's
We're
minds,
cousins.
like, right now.
Of course we.
Oh, yeah.
Cousins. Of course. During COVID, we didn't have masks on and we were near each other.
What? That sounds sus. Anyways,
what?
Going
How
back
is
to
that
what
sus?
we were. Bro, come on. Okay. Anyways, going back. You actually mentioned. You mentioned how.
Keep talking. Stop laughing.
You mentioned kind of like how guys in our generation specifically kind of have this over glorification with kind of the now and the present, with like how you were talking about how guys are so concerned about how many girls somebody can pull or how much they can bench and stuff. And I just find that like that's such
Shut up, Miguel.
I find it so interesting how it's kind of like a win or lose situation where if you weren't attractive, or it's now. So if you aren't attractive as a guy, even, and it's not even necessarily like just as a reaction to girls, but as a reaction to other guys as well. If you're not attractive, then you are at a complete disadvantage where you have no motivation to either lift weights or to either like pull girls, because in a society where if you can't do either, you're basically below everybody else. And again, I'm only speaking for guys because I can't really speak for girls. I just wonder how like that would correlate to back then. Like I wonder if people back then were worried about that stuff. Because I don't necessarily think so.
I feel like back then they were
Not
more worried about
attractive.
not getting like murdered by a gang.
What?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
definitely.
Oh,
Oh
I
wait,
feel
no,
like
no, no.
people were more
Actually,
worried about
actually,
like other
I
stuff.
think they're more worried about like the people you surround yourself with. Because like if like take a
Mm.
gang for example, like when gangs just started popping up everywhere, it's like if you like say you were in a school, right, and then you were like affiliated with a local gang or something, like gang on the block, and then like that gang was known for like I can't stop looking at this guy. It's so funny. But it's like they're known for like killing people, like selling drugs and everything. It's like you associate yourself with that people. It's like like the people back then, at least from what I've heard, they're more focused on their future, right? Like they're setting themselves up. They're trying to set themselves up for success.
Right.
Wait. Back then they were.
Yeah.
I
I
actually
feel
have
like
something to
people
say
in
to
our
that.
generation are very like focused on their futures too. Like a good portion of us, like
A good amount are, but
a
it's
good amount of people actually are pretty smart about the way that they make money. Like they start their own businesses. They don't.
yeah,
They
yeah,
like
yeah.
you don't
But I mean
necessarily have to
like
go to college.
no, but I mean there's also a good like also a good amount of people you
Commerce.
see where it's just like people that are just like dropping out of college, just like oh they just want to party and everything.
Oh
Like
yeah, there's also
I've
that
seen it
side too.
firsthand. It's like
Yeah, I know a couple people like that.
mhm.
I want to say something in the whole like planning in the future. So I know somebody who was affiliated back then, like in San Francisco,
Mhm.
and one thing they always tell me like I wasn't planning to live past like 25.
No,
Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because
I
like
wasn't planning
gangs.
to make it to 30, 40.
Mm.
Like now that I'm at these ages, I want to set stuff up.
No, no, no. Exactly. Because like let's tie this into like vaping and everything, right?
Okay.
Like first off, it was smoking, right? People back then didn't know what
Vaping.
smoking would do, right? Because there wasn't any studies about it, right? Like doctors literally hinted you at cigarettes. Like, oh, you're coughing, smoke a cigarette. You have stomach pain, smoke a cigarette, right? Then now we see what's happening with this. If gangs in general
Whoa. Yep.
just started popping up, right? People didn't know what was gonna happen, but there was a bad like ominous to it, like bad omen to it.
Ominous.
And then ominous omen. I don't know. I'm not good at vocabulary. I'm not good at English. I'm dyslexic. We get it.
Big words.
Okay.
Caitlyn.
Out of nowhere.
Sorry.
I
Doesn't
don't
see a
think that was
word like
necessary.
big word.
But go ahead, keep going.
No, but since it was so new, like there was like people would put some kind of bad omen around it. It was like it was bad. Is Jose knocked out?
Yeah, he is.
It's his
Jose.
bedtime.
Jose.
It's okay. It's past his bedtime. No worries. You can keep going.
No, he actually is. He sleeps at like 10.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, but it's like it was such a new thing, and it's like people didn't know what could happen, what the possibilities were. They just thought it was like, oh, you were gonna die like in a shootout or something, right?
Right.
But then like you see like people getting out of gangs, and it's like they're actually making good lives for themselves, good futures.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so it's like we can't really say much about things in the now until we see it in the future. Like literally, like what I said, like vaping, right? It obviously is bad for you. Like we don't know how bad it is in terms of like
No.
compared to
No
cigarettes. You see
way.
what I mean?
But they said it was healthier in the ads. They said
But they said
No
the
way.
cheese. Look at the cheese.
What?
what? The what? The what?
Cheese?
The cheese.
Cheese?
The cheese?
The cheese.
Oh, okay.
Cheese?
Oh, like from like in the burritos and whatever. My bad.
Oh.
Bro, this guy is not said a word at all until he's heard
With the
burritos.
burritos,
He
of
said a word
course.
to be racist twice, I think.
Well, it wasn't
No.
racist. It was he was just talking about food. If anything, it was.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I was trying
yeah,
to wake Jose up.
okay. What are you looking at back there?
On my Apple TV.
Paw Patrol.
Oh. But
Right, I'm trying to get Spotify on here.
Why?
Why
okay,
not?
well, going back to like kind of generational gaps in general, I think we should talk about how exactly we would bridge that gap. not even necessarily with our offspring, but how would teens now and young adults now, and even like parents and grandparents, how would that gap be bridged?
I think honestly, I wouldn't say it's like a sweet spot, but it's like kids that were around to see the transition from like no phone or like pagers to like Nokias and then or like Nokias to like the first iPhone.
I did it.
Because they've been around to see like how technology advanced, and they've had the experience of probably having like say what like they were like 10, they probably had like what an iPhone like 5 or something.
Okay.
But they've seen what like how technology changed the world the most because like definitely like the phone is obviously it's something big because you have to have a major about it. But
Phone.
yeah, exactly phone. But like if something that small can advance that much and change like basically the whole entire planet, it's really hard to bridge that gap. But I would say the people that were around then.
Bro, turn it off. Turn it off, bro. Turn it down.
Turn it off.
Jeez.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Bro,
How do I turn it off?
it's off.
How
It's
do-
off.
Wait.
It's off. But go ahead.
Is
Keep
it?
going with your comment.
As I was saying,
Juan.
God.
Bro.
Dude, I don't know how to
start
turn it
jamming
off.
out.
Why is your light red now?
Oh, dude, for some reason, the
Bro has a
remote,
freak time fucking like button. Lights turn red and the music
dude,
turns
it's
on.
on my
You
remote.
opened that today?
What, this?
Yes.
Yeah, I did open it today.
Like you just opened it.
Mm-hmm.
And how much is left?
None.
It's almost gone.
That can't be healthy.
What do you mean?
It's
Chocolate milk is
chocolate
good.
milk.
Sam Sulek said so. Anyways, keep going
Oh
with
my
what you were
God.
talking
Yeah, what he
about.
said.
But it's like it's kind of hard to bridge that gap because like we personally won't know what our parents went through. They don't know what we're going through because most of the time we're going to be in school. But like those people, like
Wait,
I
like
don't even know
bridge
I'm
the
naming
gap
this.
between like our parents and
It's
us,
really
It doesn't
hard
or
have
to
to
like
bridge the
be
gap.
personal. But overall, young
No, but
adults and teens
even
to
still,
millennials
I
and
just
baby
remembered
boomers.
Jose's asleep.
because I think now I don't think we can bridge the gap between our parents and us.
Yeah,
because
I
we're
just
too different.
honestly I
Hmm.
agree. I
Like
don't think
that's not
it's
gonna be possible. Like, you know
not
what? I've
feasible.
tried to like tell my mom what's
Actually,
wrong and what's right, and they're like, no, that's not. So I was like, okay, I give up.
in all
But
honesty, I think there is like some kind of way to bridge the gap, but it's more like the people that have something in common. Like for me, it's what I'm thinking at least. It's the people that like the old generation money means the new generation of money, or like the people, but both people that have made the money themselves. Like you'll talk to someone like older who did whatever to make money,
Right.
and then you'll talk to someone new or like someone from this generation, like a 16-year-old that made like $1 million in like 2 years or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it
And
was
then, like,
hard for me to do that.
if they met each other, then it would be like they'd have something more to talk about because they'd be talking about how each of them was successful. But like as people in this generation, like not having much in common with the other people, like the older generation, it's really hard to bridge that gap, in my opinion.
Miguel, did you want to say anything else? Caitlyn, Juan, not Jose because he's sleeping.
Can we try to wake Jose up?
How, dude? He's gone.
All right,
He has
everyone,
both.
scream on three.
We are
Everyone
not screaming on three.
1, 2,
Yell
3.
food! Yell food!
I muted it soundboard. I can't hear anything.
My bad.
Burrito, tacos.
Mac and cheese. What did he eat for breakfast?
McDonald's.
Fish tacos.
Okay,
Your mom's
Fish
coming,
tacos.
Jose, should I text his sister just wake him up?
Yeah,
bro.
do it. You won't.
Which one do I text the older one? I don't know if they're even up.
Miguel, you said you agreed on why. You said you agreed
Fish
that the gap
tacos.
couldn't necessarily be closed. Why would that be so?
Check your DMs.
I just think it's it's like too far. Like there's so much of a difference compared to then and now that I feel like no matter how hard you try, there would be no way to bridge that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
Like
feel
it's
like oh
not go for it.
oh I feel like both of our generations are very stubborn, especially like the older one, because like it's even like if you like like music taste or like oh your music sucks now, like Taylor Swift sucks. Back in my day, I'm like no, back in your day it was horrible. Okay, like it's like something that you can't really
Gills in the
convince
fields.
them.
Every fish has gills.
Like it's something you can't convince them. Like it's
A lottie dottie.
Bro.
yeah.
No, but actually, there's like scientific research behind that. Hold on,
What do you mean?
Jose, move.
The music? Oh. Ah!
What do you mean?
McDonald's.
Scientific research behind the whole music thing.
Okay.
Oh. Nah, bro. Like, are you really gonna argue with me and tell me that your heavy music is better than like?
Wait,
No, but
your parents listened to
the
heavy
thing
metal
is,
music when they were younger?
Well, that was
Shit.
like very. It was pretty popular like back then, like heavy like metal, especially
I
for
mean,
my
yeah,
dad,
but my parents. I
because
like my
they
parents'
didn't have
music.
pop music really, not really, or it wasn't
they
as
did.
popular.
They did.
They did, but it wasn't as popular until like later on, I think.
But
Like
Britney
back,
Spears.
but back for like more like my dad's and my mom's generation, it was more like metal was in like I think R&B
True, it was like Ozzy Osbourne and shit like that.
Oh, really?
kind, or it was just
No,
like
whole generation hip
Elvis
hop and
Presley?
R&B.
I think
Jose,
I think
Jose,
that was
Jose,
it.
Jose, Jose.
What's that guy's called? What's that
Wake
band
up, wake
called?
up,
I forgot.
wake up.
Did your
Hello?
sister wake you up?
What is it?
What?
I
Oh, hey,
texted her
Caitlyn.
sister to wake you up.
The,
I don't know if she did
oh,
though.
the Beatles, and then like Guns
Did
N'
I go to
Roses
sleep?
and stuff like that. Like
Yes.
Oh, okay.
that's what was popular. Like
Yeah,
my
let me
dad
check
like
my
Wait,
loves
but,
that kind of music. I'm like I absolutely hate that kind of music. I can't listen to it.
I see.
I wanted to go back to the thing I was the scientific. So your ears, not your ears, but your brain actually like after a certain age, it stops like liking the like you get like stuck up on like your old music. Like
What age is
your
that?
music taste freezes. I forgot what age it was, but your
Give me an
taste.
estimate.
I want to say like maybe 40s.
Age 12.
I think 40s is
40?
reasonable.
Yeah, but because
a
your
long
music
time.
taste freezes, and so even nowadays, like I'll listen to some songs, I'm like, how do people like this?
What do you mean?
But
Wait,
it's like
yeah.
super popular. Like for a
Like-
while, a lot of Babytron songs I didn't like.
Oh, like back then? Wait, what are you talking about? Like right now? Like music right now?
Yeah, like I'm talking about right now, like
I
some
can
of the
get
newer
that.
stuff.
Like the
Like-
new stuff? Like, yeah, I can see what you mean. It's just
Yeah.
like, dude.
Like back 2016, back in our day.
Back in our
2016,
day,
day.
when like, you
Yeah,
know.
I guess
2015.
it's like nostalgia too, because I feel like
Mm,
for them, like what they had back yeah, what they had back then, it was like nostalgic. Like that's what they listened to back then, but then they listen to stuff now and they're just like they can't like resonate with it as much because it's just like
it's rebellious.
it's so different.
I mean, that's why people didn't like Elvis back then at the start, because his music was too like
Like if you played
rebellious.
this song,
What is that?
like back in 2015, 2016, I was going crazy.
What song is that?
And then parents,
Bad
Bad.
by X.
Oh, okay.
and then parents would be like, "What the fuck are you?"
You remember
playing?"
like the
Yeah.
all like the COVID songs that were like popular? That was
Oh,
Dude,
Blueberry Fago.
that was
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh.
Wait, what is it?
Like the
what's that
box
guy?
by who was it? Forgot his name.
Dude, wait. Oh
The
no,
box was
Miguel,
good,
you weren't in
though.
that class.
The box and then like Yellow Hearts.
Oh my
else
gosh,
was
Yellow
there?
Hearts. That's what
Yeah.
like all the like not thirst
Oh,
traps. What's
this
it called?
one.
When it's not
Hold
like
on.
a
I don't
thirst
know if you
trap,
can
but,
hear
like,
it. Hold on. You guys
I'm
remember
singing?
this one? Can you hear
What's
it?
the opposite?
just say the song, dude.
It's I don't know what the fuck it's called. If I back it up, it's
Oh, that
that
one.
Bro, it's
one.
TikTok trend, bro. There's not even a full
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
And then it's like the
no. I'm going
Renegade.
through like
like-
a. Is it enough? If I
Okay, bro.
No, wait, what's that party next door song? The like,
No, mama,
fuck.
party girl, she just won't have
That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
the,
that one, that
oh,
one,
that
that
is the
one.
song. That's not Party Next Door, bro.
That's the artist. That's the artist.
No,
No.
He just told you it
Is
is.
it?
no.
No. That
It's
is
some
a
random. it's
totally
like
different
Babyface.
artist. That's why I was so
Oh,
confused.
dude, I'm so dumb.
Party Next Door actually releases good music,
Yes, that's like
My fault.
I only
That's
know like
crazy.
one of his songs though.
dude. The recent one I'm stuck up on is "Come and See Me" with Drake.
Oh wait, yeah, that's the wait. No. Wait, is that not?
Come and
That's
see
the. That's the only
me.
song
Jose's
that I
falling
know of.
asleep.
Hold on.
Jose's
Come
falling
and see
asleep.
me for once.
No, I'm not, bro.
Your eyes are closed. I see it.
No, they're
Jose,
not.
bro, if you're tired, you can go. Like I've left midway through a podcast before.
It's okay, dude. We won't hold you to it.
Yeah, you haven't said shit anyways.
No, he
I think I
said.
genuinely got knocked out, bro. Like that's
I
the only
mean, we
reason I
could
wasn't
tell,
saying
dude.
I
anything.
told you.
Dude, I called you like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I was looking at my phone.
Like,
I was
look, I
holy
texted
shit,
your
it was
sister
bad.
to fucking wake you up.
Bro, she's which one?
Andrea.
Bro, her fucking ankle's fucked up. She can't walk, bro. She can't do shit.
Well, with that being said, I mean, is there any like lasting statements that you guys
No,
want to talk about in
delete that.
terms of the generational gap before we close out? I'll open the
That's
floor to
it?
anybody. I mean, there's nothing else to really do. We've been up here for like an hour 30 already.
I feel like I want it to be longer. I feel like let's do another topic because I feel like at least for me,
We could do another topic, another episode.
Wait.
Let's just film another one right after this.
One small thing, just because I thought about this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Have you guys seen like the difference between like food?
No.
Like, no. Like think of, like have you guys seen those TikToks or like things where it's like they make food look like something, but it tastes completely different?
Is it real or
What?
is it cake?
I hate the
That
wax,
too, that
wax
too.
videos on my reels. It looks like real
wax
food.
What the
and it's
fuck?
wax.
What is this?
Where did
What
you
is?
get
Where are we
wax?
going with this?
No,
Hold on.
like
What does
even,
that
like,
have to do with generational
Cause
gap?
Are you
like
talking about like with like like fast food
Man,
and
now
like
y'all
how
gotta
it's
bring
like
up
hella
food,
different
bro,
and
and
like
we
its
already.
preparation now? Are you talking about
fast food's one of them, but it's
like
I'm
where
more
you see
talking
like
about
those TikToks where like they dump mac and cheese on everything?
this guy's just
So, like,
talking about my food now.
I mean, you're the one who brought it up.
Now
I
we're
was
on mac
getting
and
to my
cheese.
point. I was getting to my point.
Oh, mac
No,
and
but
cheese
it's like
would hit hella right now.
Okay, we know mac and
different-
cheese would hit right now. Okay, go ahead, Mateo.
differences in art styles. Because like, do you think like if our technology keeps advancing, do you think it's going to be better or worse for the?
We were just talking about food, and now what is happening?
No. Because
Oh,
bro, Miguel, put that away.
That's
Shut
wax.
up.
Wait, what are we
Yeah,
talking about?
actually, wait, what? Hold on, I want
Oh.
to watch this. Wait, send that to me.
what was it? Like
Go ahead.
AI?
Explain.
Okay, but, like,
Explain.
I'm also in an art class where it's like, or I'm taking my art class right now, where it's like things back then wouldn't
What's
be
your-
classified as art. My major's accounting. I'm just taking GEs. But at the same time, like things back then weren't classified as art, but now they are. And then
Like
like
what?
sometimes these arts are like
Like what?
like some people look at a car as art. And then some people look at like coding as art sometimes too. But coding has a
Ew.
purpose.
Sorry.
Cars have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Like a phone could be art to some people.
No.
PCs are definitely art to people because they like to look at them like different colors. RGB makes you aim better. But do you think like all this stuff advancing is like better or worse? Like not even just art, just like everything in general. Because like the way of thinking, like art's just an example, but like the way of thinking is also advancing too. Like what do you guys think?
I wanted to say something on that. So nowadays, when you like a lot of stuff for some reason lately has been labeled with AI. It's AI. When in reality, like I saw this one monitor, and actually it was based on League of Legends, where like it takes information from your mini map to tell you where an enemy is on your screen, basically.
How?
I saw that.
Yeah, right. And it was talking about, oh, it's AI technology. When in reality, it's just they're using AI as a selling point for a lot of things nowadays. When in reality, it's just simple code. Like it's a very not simple, but it's just a code that's input to take the information from your mini map to then put it on your screen to where that enemy would be. But like so many things have been labeled AI because of this advancement in AI that has become such a selling point. Like, oh, the AI, you see that, you're like, oh, well, what about it? Like, I feel like that whole aspect of us advancing is also really big. Like, kind of scary when you think about it. Like,
Is
they're
what?
selling bullshit.
I also think the actual problem of AI itself is dangerous.
Yeah.
No,
What
it's
was that
actually
one?
terribly scary. Have you seen like Like it's disgusting what people do. Like deep fakes are disgusting as hell.
Oh yeah.
And like the ability to recreate people's voices is also
No,
disgusting.
that one's actually scary. I watched this one video. This dude, like, it wasn't like a celebrity. It's some random dude in like a GTA server, and he like used AI to recreate the dude's voice. Like, it's pretty fucking crazy when you think about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like exactly, like the way of thinking. Like when people get away with these type of things, it's like they can take one small idea, but it can become such a big problem. And like just that way of thinking is like they want. It's more like the American dreams. Like they want what they want. They want to do it, and like that's just idealism, right there.
What is?
It's like I don't want to say that's like the biggest problem, but it's a pretty big one. Like people know things are in like within what's the range of road? What's the saying where it's like it's within reach's grab or grab's reach or something?
It's within arm's length.
Sure, let's go with that. But it's like it's just it takes that little bit of work, but it's like it's so what's the word?
It's within your grasp. Is that what you're trying to say?
It's within your grasp. Yeah. It's within your grasp, but it's like it's so unethical, right? Sometimes it's unethical, but like people will go that far to achieve what they want.
Yeah.
So like that back
I feel
then
like with
wasn't...
AI, it's a lot easier. Like people could easily get scammed more. Like if you think like the older generation getting scammed by ads, imagine like if like because I feel like for like scam emails too, like they're also getting like a lot smaller. Like they would have like mistypes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Typos.
Oh, I wanted
But
to.
then now they're getting a lot smarter.
All right, I heard of this like multiple cases of this where people were using AI to recreate like somebody's like voice and then calling like their parent or something. So like making them think that they got hurt and that they need money. Like I've seen multiple cases of this. I'm like, dude, like honestly, I might fall for that shit. Like not even the older generation. It's getting to the point where like it's fooling like it's almost fooling me. Like I've seen some like the AI voices on like TikTok and they sound real for a while. And then obviously they say something that character or person wouldn't say, but for a while it sounds like some real shit. Like that's kind of scary.
Yeah. Definitely.
Like it's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah. Also, when you're tied to like the education system too, like ChatGPT, like I mean.
But like, so what are your guys' thoughts? Like, do you think it's good or like better or worse?
What?
Let's go with AI. Like, do you think it's better? It's better for us going forward, or do you think it's like it's harming us in the long run?
I mean, like
time will tell. Like,
yeah.
In what situation will it ever be good though?
Doing your essays.
We're making a sentient being slowly.
We are.
We are quite literally making a sentient being that has no shape or form, but can literally access everything.
I remember when I first heard people talking about it, I'm like, that's bullshit, no way. And then like I started using it, like I used it for an essay one time and I was like, dude, this shit's crazy. Like I asked it to write me a summary, or I like summarized this book and it did it for me. I'm like, okay, bet. And then I was like, and then I like gave it the keywords, like let's make it sound like somebody like this wrote it and it would do it. I'm like, whoa.
Like this level of AI is quite relatively young, and it can already, like you were saying, grab a book and pick out the key parts of like that certain book, and not only pick it out, but also compose it into something that we can understand, into a cohesive paragraph, 2 paragraphs,
exactly.
whatever.
I'd say like simplify the explanation and then bam, instantly simplify it to something you can understand.
Exactly.
Like it's pretty fucking crazy when like honestly, I don't know, like Alex was saying, like we're slowly creating a sentient being. Like it knows all this shit. It's learning day by day. It's like getting smarter. It's getting quicker. Like it's kind of scary.
But literally,
When you
the
really
only thing that it's missing is consciousness. So once we give it consciousness, however that works, whatever code or whatever it has to be, that's quite literally like the moment whatever this AI realizes, whatever AI as a whole has to realize that like, oh, I don't have to listen to what so and so is inputting into this code. I can just do this because now I have all this information. Now I don't have to adhere to this code. We don't even know when that's possible. We don't know if it's possible.
I bet you people are already working on that. Like ever since AI came out, I bet you people have been working on like trying to give it like a physical shape or like an actual mind for itself.
It's scary,
like,
dude.
Because like another part of the American dream is like you want to make money without moving, right? Like one of the tips people say is like make money in your sleep. And then if you have something doing that for you and it has its own mind, like think about like if that did it all for you, but it ran around on its own, like you don't know what it could do.
I wanted to bring up a movie that came out. Hold on, came out in 2014. It's called Ex Machina, and it's about this AI thing, and it's a sentient kind of being thing.
I've seen that. That movie's freaky.
It's really crazy. So if you haven't watched the movie, basically there's this dude. He wins this prize because he does this code thing, and so he goes to this house like in a secluded area to like start working with this AI robot, and she's like constantly learning, and she's always adapting, and so he gets the chance to like work with her through like a glass and talk with her, and it's like a child for a while, and eventually the AI gets to the point where it's smart enough to understand that he's falling in love with it, and
it
so
seduces him.
yeah, and it starts to seduce him, and ends up like it gets to the point where like the AI convinces him to like let her out, and then the AI ends up killing him, and then she escapes. And like as crazy as it sounds, I feel like we're not far off from that.
And it's like, dude, people are like, oh, who would be as stupid? Like, dude, we're pretty stupid. We're literally making it.
Humans are like rats. When you really think about it, rats are gullible to the point where they know that if there's a trap, but there's food, they will still try to get it. Humans are the exact same. Like
that's like the sad truth. Like we see something and we're interested. That interest could take us so far, and like we could be so gone in it.
Yeah, and we're like exactly like rats. Like if there's something we want and we really really want it, we'll go get it. And we will, like we talked about it last episode in the live episode where we were all together. Like the reason Andre would have, I feel like we all kind of agreed, is because humans are greedy. As much as you trust this person, like it's gonna come down to it's either you eat or I eat. It's either you live or I live, and I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
As funny as that episode was, it's real shit. We're just like rats. A rat's gonna worry about itself and worry about like, oh, I know I might die eating this, but I need to eat it, and I won, so I'm gonna keep going after and after and after it. And it's we're just like that. So like, yeah, we are that stupid. Like, yeah. Oh, who would fall for that? I feel like a lot of the population would end up like. I feel like most of it, like if Ex Machina were to like come to and it was a real thing, 100% think it would go down exactly like the movie.
Right. Well, with that being said, I will say that we have reached a good stopping point in the podcast episode. It is undeniable that there is a generational divide between, young adults and teens and even millennials and baby boomers and even farther back. There is definitely a generational gap that surpasses age. It definitely shows in our technology, in our culture, and in a variety of other things that go beyond just physical. And while we might not necessarily say there is a way for us to bridge that gap, I would say that there is a way, but like other people, like we all collectively agreed, it's kind of in a sense impossible, just because of the simple stubbornness that both sides have. But in light of all that, I would say that there are a lot of positives between both. I would say that relationships where the gap can be bridged, there are exceptions, are extremely lovable and very amazing. And as we close out this episode, if somebody wants to close us out, they can go on ahead. And if not, I get cold call.
No, yeah. Like just literally like outro kind of thing, or what?
I'm done talking.
Okay. Well, yeah. It was a great episode. I feel like it was a little more all over the place than most of our recordings have been, but I feel like towards the end we kind of got to a good point. And I think maybe for the next one, I think we should kind of stick to the AI topic. I think AI could be its own podcast, and I'd be willing to host that one. But aside from that fact, thank you guys for watching. The 4th episode now, or listening to or watch, depending on what platform you're watching. Yeah, we're the Yapcast. Thank you for watching and listening.